Have you ever been approaching a contest, a festival, or some sort of evaluation, and you're a few weeks out, and suddenly you realize that half your orchestra isn't playing with vibrato? Maybe you do a pre-contest or a pre-concert or something, and people start noticing, hey, all the students in the back, they seem to be playing with straight tone. What's the deal with that? And at that point, you're 3 weeks out. Realistically, what are you going to be able to do about it? Because vibrato takes a lot of time to develop, and it requires a lot of flexibility and stuff that you can't really accomplish in 3 weeks. So we're at the beginning of the school year. Let's start working on vibrato right now, and that's going to pay off so much throughout the school year. Teaching vibrato earlier in their playing career, earlier in the school year has been a game changer for me. It loosens students up, it gives them flexibility, it helps with their tone, it helps with their pitch. Everything is just going much better the more you teach vibrato. So in season 1, episode 4, I get into a lot of detail with vibrato, and I have some demonstration videos, but in this video, we're just gonna look at what you can do at the very beginning of the year just to start getting them loose. Later in the year, you might wanna start adding some finger rolls, you might wanna start adding some finger flexors and some pull-ups and all that kind of stuff. To get them more in control of their vibrato. But right now, let's just work on loosening up the left hand. So in Wednesday's video, I went over how to set the bow, grip the string, and have the hand move around the string while keeping the bow stationary. And we're gonna kind of do the same thing in relation to the left hand. So we're gonna just start in 4th position. We're gonna pick a finger, and it doesn't really matter which finger it is. We're just gonna pick a finger, and we're just gonna kind of move around, keep the finger stationary, and we're just gonna kind of move around that finger, right? Set it, press the finger, let the wrist move, let everything else move, and that's gonna develop some flexibility. Once they get really good at 4th position, we can go back to 1st position and kind of start doing the same thing here. But if they get stuck, move them back to 4th position. With 4th position, their hand is blocked by the upper bout, and when they can't use that pizza hand. They can't overflex this way. And so it can help out a lot for your students just to kind of be in 4th position for your violins and viols. For cellos and basses, it doesn't really help that much. They usually have an easier time with vibrato anyway, and they can kind of do the same thing and just stick the finger down and let everything else move around the contact point, just like we did with the bow on Wednesday. We can go over left hand shape all day long. We can talk to them about, okay, round fingers, make sure they're square, whatever, look at pictures, diagrams. You can go around and pull the wrist back and do all sorts of stuff. But it may not help. We want to get them to do these sorts of things naturally. And if we're forcing it, or if we're thinking conceptually about it instead of kinesthetically, it may not take hold as well as if we do an exercise like this. So I encourage you to give it a try. Just have the students stick the finger down and let them move around the finger. Don't slide the finger around. Keep the finger in place and just kind of move around this way and see what happens. Maybe in a week or two, everybody starts loosening up. Your students get better tone. They get more flexibility with the left hand, and everything starts going better. I know it's the beginning of the year and your group doesn't sound like it did in the spring, but I hope you find some ways to get your students back on track, and I hope you feel less overwhelmed after watching some of this, and ultimately, I hope you have a wonderful school year. As always, if you have anything to contribute or if you need any help, please drop a comment in the comment section below. I'd love to hear from you. Hope you have a great school year, guys.